So when you multiply by 10, 5 times 10 means 5 tens. So that means 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, which of course we can count by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 5 times 10 is 50. But also in math, there's what's called a shortcut. And that shortcut is, if I can find my little guy up here, he's right behind. There he is over here, okay. Draw. So the shortcut says if you multiply by 10, all you have to do is add a trailing zero. So if I have 25 times 10, we don't have to count out 25 tens. All we have to do is say, hey, you're multiplying by 10. All I have to do is stick on a trailing zero. Therefore, the answer is 250 without any work at all. That's the shortcut. Multiplying by 10 just means stick on a zero because that increases place value. And that's all. That's what's cool about our number system. Our number system is a base 10 system. And multiplying by 10, all it does is increase place value. So trailing zeros, also want to bring this to your attention. Trailing zeros can mean multiply by 10. So if I give you a number like 60, 60 can be changed back into a multiplication problem. And also there's one trailing zero, you can say 6 times 10. So 6 times 10 would be 60. Notice how 800 has 2 trailing zeros. So that means you're multiplying by 2 tens, 8 times 10 times 10. So those are equivalent. They mean the same thing. 5,000 is the same thing as 5 times 10 times 10 times 10. So those are equivalent. So when I do 60 times 30, without a calculator, what we understand is 60 means 6 times 10. And since these parentheses are joined together, this is all multiplication. So I'm going to multiply 60 times 30. So that means you have 6 times 10 times, and 30 is 3 times 10. Remember, multiplication order can be moved around. So I'm allowed to change it to 6 times 3 times 10 times 10. 6 times 3 is 18. And this becomes very easy now because when you multiply by 10, there's no work to be done. All you got to remember is all you have to do is add a trailing zero. And since you're multiplying by 2 tens, you have to add 2 trailing zeros, and therefore your answer is 1,800. So what I pick up on is numbers like this, when there's a bunch of trailing zeros, all you got to do is multiply the front end and attach the trailing zeros. So if I want to do 500 times 30, the only math that's really involved is 5 times 3. That's the front end numbers. If you know that 5 times 3 is 15, you're doing the hard part. Because now we have to do is attach the trailing zeros. And if you notice, there are 1, 2, 3 trailing zeros. So if I stick those trailing zeros down, that's going to give me 15,000. So we can do math like that without a calculator if we understand some of the simple methods to do that. Trailing zeros can be ignored, do the front end part, and then bring the trailing zeros back into the problem. So that kind of concludes that lesson there.